Good afternoon, this is Malik from Kobafiles and Friends. Today I'm with my man, Mr. Hypebeast of Houston himself, the originator, Mr. Rap a lot. You know, he go by so many names, you know what I'm saying? I just know him by X, but if you know him, you know who he is. He's a big influencer in Houston culture as far as fashion, music, and everything that is involved in Houston. So my man, would you introduce yourself to the people so they know?
What's good, y'all? Let's see here. Well, basically, my name is Xavier James. I've been at Rap a lot, going on 16 years now in October. But I've been a behind-the-scenes individual for a very long time, man. Just all the way across the board, especially with Rap a Lot Records, and then now doing Strap Condoms. I try to definitely play more of a behind-the-scenes role and make sure the logistics is handled and everything goes properly, I guess you could say, as much as possible. But I definitely try to bring the culture and be a spokesperson for the culture here in Houston, because I feel like we are really lacking a lot of creativity and creative capability in this particular market, being that we're now, I think if I'm not mistaken, the third largest city in the United States.
Definitely.
There's no reason why we don't have more creative opportunities for the youth and for the culture. And what I mean by the culture, a lot of people ask me, what is the culture? The culture is a good new wave of youth and creativity and all different races having different ideas on music and fashion and entertainment, and it's just what we call the culture.
All right. So I think the whole thing, the reason why I started the YouTube segment was to put a bright light on what Houston, as far as the people in my inner circles, people that I know, people I can reach out to, what they're doing. As far as fashion, as people sleep on us, but we're very influential, we're very advanced in the fashion world, and people don't gravitate towards us to do anything for Houston. Like nobody comes to Houston like, oh yo, I'm going to Houston because there's a sneaker joint going on, or there's a fashion, you know. Like we go to we're going to New York or LA for a project and stuff like that, but there's nothing like that in Houston. So the whole point of this YouTube segment is to show people who we are. We're not just riding on horses and wearing cowboy boots. You know, we got all the joints. You know,
that's so true. A lot of people ask that question.
You know, so and Rap a Lot is a big influencer for the Houston as far as like hip hop goes. You know, you go way back. So people still sleeping on us. You know what I mean? So as far as who we stand for as a Houston, as the lifestyle, we have so much influential to put on into the world, but nobody comes here like, okay, I want to take a trip to Houston. You know what I mean? So how can we change that stigma?
Well, the way you can change it is by doing what you're doing, which is putting a spotlight on the market itself and individuals who are trying to bring Houston to a different light, into a different point of view outside of the whole down south slow riding bang, pop trunk, and riding horses and farmland, etc., and maybe a little bit of food and Houston Rockets and the Texans. There is a fashion culture. It's a very strong fashion culture here. It's just no one is really having the platform or the opportunity to be able to express themselves on a national or international level outside of, individuals. There's definitely a couple of individuals here in this market who a lot of brands do pay attention to, but it's hard to know who they're paying attention to and how more brands can find out who is somebody they may be willing or wanting to look into. And I think, it starts with stuff like this here, because this will spread. And word of mouth will spread, and gradually between individuals like yourself, individuals who go out and travel and go from LA to New York to Milan to Tokyo to London, and try to spread the word of, man, whenever y'all get a chance, y'all should come to Houston, or whenever y'all got an opportunity, y'all should do something in Houston. And that's the main thing that you want to definitely have to, it has to start somewhere.
Yes.
Because if it doesn't start anywhere, then it'll never happen. So that's mainly how it will work.
Because I try to reach out to some people to see if we can put together a show.
Mm-hmm.
Like as far as if a project can come to Houston and host something. Or we can have a Coachella, something, all these big land just going to waste.
Right.
Because, and it's tax-free. So if you host a show, you're not going to be worrying about, oh, I'm going to be taxed with this and that. I mean, I'm not going to even speak on that money part. It just, the culture is here.
Yeah.
And I have to book a ticket for Coachella that's coming out in whatever. And I was like, imagine me having that type of, in Houston,
Yeah, I think, we do have good music festivals. We have Day for Night, we got Free Press.
Yeah.
We even have, finally, Jambalaya now will be here in Houston. Shout out to Sasha and them at Score More. And it's just that with those types of opportunities here in Houston, it allows a lot of the major forefront pioneers and the culture leaders to come to Houston and definitely express themselves, and it'll allow people who don't have that platform here throughout the week and throughout the year, that 1 or 2, maybe 3, 4, 5 times throughout the year, you have the opportunity to really stand up and be heard and try to make a statement every opportunity you get. And that's the main thing that a lot of people got to take advantage of here in Houston, is when it's an opportunity, whether it be Jambalaya, Free Press, Day for Night, All-Star Weekend, Super Bowl, you want to try to stand up and be heard, because that's really our only time. You got a good amount of publication focus on the city of Houston.
Yeah, and besides, I think Free Press is always dope, and Day for Night as well. Besides that, it just, the thing is, yes, we're doing it, and people in the South or like in Houston or Austin just knew about it. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't be like, okay, somebody from Boston is like, okay, we're preparing to go to Houston because they're having a Day for Night.
Right.
That bothers me, that I want to see who can we talk to, or because if you talk to everybody or people I have tried to talk to, see if we can do that, because there's avenues and revenues and people that influential that we can help. But the thing with people is like, oh, you're gonna do it, I can do it too,
I think what I feel to believe is that if you at least try and take initiative, if it doesn't work and you fail, at least you learn from the experience and you learn from your mistakes, to where in turn you know what you need to do the next time, and you just kind of keep pushing through. And if you get knocked down, you keep getting back up and keep trying and trying and trying. And in that process of trying and trying and trying, you'll be able to fix the mistakes that you made. Like if you put on a fashion show, if you put on some type of creative event where it allows the culture to come in and do different creative things, whether it be reconstruct shoes, or whether it be reconstructing clothes, whether it be speaking in regards to having a panel of individuals who have insight and information on the industry, and et cetera, et cetera. It's a multitude of things that can be done. It's just you need those people who are willing, wanting, and able to do it, and have a platform to do it on, where it can bring enough limelight to themselves and to what they're doing and to the city of Houston.
All right. So what project do you have coming up this year, or anything that people need to know and follow? And
well, man, it's always stuff throughout the year. Me personally, specifically, as far as myself, just leading something, I don't have anything specifically, but I do play a behind-the-scenes role with as much stuff going on in the city as possible. It's the usual calendar of events that go on here that you try to be a part of. But as far as definitely, if I'm talking to people that would let them know what events to definitely be at for the culture, after with Free Press Day for Night, Definitely Jambalaya. I'm plugging in Jambalaya as much because it's the first time here in Houston. It's always been Dallas and Austin.
Okay.
And now it's here. And the thing is that it's going to be a very major lineup with a lot of leaders of the culture and of the movement that's going on with fashion and music. And as far as fashion, music, and sports, even for that matter, because I really see it kind of mutating into a different other entity being a part of it. Outside of that, I definitely also want to plug in the Project Fashion Show, because the Project Fashion Show is a platform that me and a friend of mine had started and began that allows a lot of new young designers. And a huge shouts out to Maika at Tag Team Houston. And she has taken the Project Fashion Show and really allowed it to be bigger than what I probably could have ever envisioned it.
Okay.
And she really has taken it and made it to where it allows new young designers to be able to come in and showcase their outfits and their silhouettes and their collection or capsule collection or fall, winter, ready to wear, spring, something, whatever they currently have at that particular time, and really try to help some of these new young designers get on the platform. I mean, get on the playing field, let me say it like that, where they can approach buyers, approach individuals as far as collaborations, and also position themselves to allow the public to be able to see their collections and be interested in purchasing and going to a website or whatever the case may be. Now, also, what I am currently working on as far as fashion is concerned is definitely trying to bring a retail, I guess you could say clothing store, but it would definitely be a boutique here to Houston that will have what I feel to believe is the brands that the people want, not what brings in the money. And I do understand the difference and why you kind of try to have a balance, but you really want to cater more to the people than looking for the money, because the people end up having to go elsewhere to get the brand. They got to go to LA, they got to go to New York, they got to go to Miami, they got to go to Chicago, and they got to fly out to certain other boutiques in certain areas because certain brands just won't either come to Houston, or they're just not, or don't understand that there's a strong buying power here.
So what kind of brands are you thinking of bringing to Houston as far as the Houston culture that we need, that we're not getting? I'm pretty sure I have an idea, but I just want to pick your brain and know what.
I think, for example, man, it's just so many.
Top five that we don't have in Houston.
Top five that we don't have in Houston, man.
I know for sure Off-White. We don't have.
Well, actually, we do have Off-White in Houston.
Who carries?
You can go to Neiman Marcus. You can go to Neiman Marcus and the Webster and the Webster and Neiman Marcus currently sell Off-White for men. Now, I'm not sure about Off-White for women, but I know they sell Off-White for men.
Is it the Off-White that we want, or the Off-White that, is generic, that you can get it anywhere? Because you know exactly which shoes and stuff he put in there that people really want. It's not the other one that that you can go anywhere and pick it up.
That's true, and I think I think Virgil and Nike understand exclusivity is everything.
Yeah.
And I think they understand that if everybody had it, then nobody would want it. So it's a situation where, okay, I'm going to allow a select few to have it, which will build the hype and the demand up to where the next go round, the next release, will try to either release more, or we'll try and release more in different locations, or we'll try to allow more people to be able to have an opportunity. But you have to regulate it some kind of way to continue the objective goal, which is to drive demand. Now the thing is that they have the Off-White that you can pretty much get almost anywhere, But that's why they have like the Empty Gallery in New York City, and you have different exclusive pop-ups and collaboration pieces that he may do, throughout the country and throughout the world.
Yeah.
Is to be able to have exclusive pieces for select few individuals who may live in a certain city or maybe at a certain event or festival at that particular time, to capitalize on the culture itself and to keep the relevancy, relevant. And as far as brands that I feel, I think you got Gosha, which should definitely be more available out here because we have a huge skater community. I definitely would like to see Palace sold out here.
Yeah.
I would like to also see, I would definitely like to see a VLone pop-up. I think a VLone pop-up is in high demand. Shout outs to Bari.
Yeah.
I would definitely, sooner or later, that I see it coming. It's coming soon. I see it really coming soon. Outside of that, I would definitely like to see more, honestly, and don't get me wrong, I know Adidas and I know Nike is here, but I don't feel a lot of creative events that allow the youth to participate comes here, which that's what I would like to see come here. What other brands? I'm trying to really narrow it down. I think Prada for Men, which is only sold at like one location here, which is I think 4510 in River Oaks District. I would like to see more Prada for men, ready to wear and athletic wear, and even runway. A lot of runway. I'd like to see a lot of runway sold here. Oof,
that's gonna be tough.
Man, I would like to see Clock. Shout outs to their fashion show the other night. I'd like to see Clock here. It can go on and on and on and on and on. I'll be even honest, and I think it's. I mean, it would kind of be a toss up between Miami, Chicago, and Houston. But yeah, I would like to see a Supreme location here.
I mean, it would be wonderful,
dope,
right?
It would be really nice. It would be dope, but
because you have to understand.
Shout out to, I would even like to see a Wake sold in Houston. I mean, it's so many brands, man. And
it's all congested, and they're going to the same spots, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if they expanded, like you're saying, if you expand it to where it is in Texas, right? That means you have like the whole city of Texas, like it's a pop-up shop coming. Imagine, because there's a lot of people in Texas.
There's
money,
and it's a lot of people, it's a lot of money, but you got to look at it. It's a revolving circle. Like, say for instance, if you was to have 5 locations of Supreme, let's use Supreme, because Supreme's business strategy is really wonderful. It's strategic, it's wonderful, and it does exactly what it needs to do, which is be a shopping point that will allow people to travel all across the world to come to specific locations to purchase clothes, to in turn immediately sell out. What I mean immediate, we're talking within minutes, sell out. Then in turn, it allows people to build their own businesses off of that, where you have kids and even adults that have resale shops that are making financial revenue off of reselling merchandise that's authentic to individuals who can't make it to the actual premier locations, which is in LA, New York, Tokyo.
Then I agree with you.
So the more locations you would have, the less resale business you would have.
Well, then again, you buying a T-shirt from Supreme for, let's say, $100, right?
True.
You bring it back to your hometown and you sell it for $600.
As well, then that's to say where, hey, don't hate the game, don't hate the player, hate the game.
So it's not like I want every pop-up shop or every around the corner. It's just that to have an access to get your hands on something, and like I'm really at a point that I think resale people don't understand. They just vultures, right? Just buying it. Just to destroy the resale value,
That's true.
Like people, you and I, we understand the value of a brand. And if we're trying to buy and resell it, we understand it. We know the history behind it.
Yeah.
But now they're just buying it just to buy it because they saw somebody on Hypebeast, and it's like, okay, this is the new stuff that's coming out. let's get all our kids in line and let them purchase it and kill the next man that's really, really involved in the whole, the fashion culture.
That's very true.
That's what bothers me with that,
And I mean, that's what has made this industry what it is today.
Yeah, it is.
Because whether it's sneakers, and now it's more clothes. Well, it's a combination of both sneakers and clothes, but fashion as a whole, that's what is changing. Because if you look at it, and I'm speaking on this based off of outside looking in.
Okay.
I haven't really seen that many athletes having product that you line up for. You know what I'm saying? It's now mutated to where it's your hip hop artists, your Instagram creators, and creatives, let me call them creatives. But it's those individuals who are driving relevancy to these brands.
Yeah.
And these brands now understand that it's not just shoes and it's not just clothes, it's a combination of both and how they put it together. I mean, look at like Ally Mae out of Los Angeles. She has now taken her blog and her style and expressed herself the way she sees fit, and has allowed brands like Jordan, a brand like Jordan, to really focus in on the culture and the youth and females.
Yeah. And
with her style and her influence, it almost opened up a whole new doorway of creative women. And you look at Virgil, who is never really, Virgil's not a rapper, he's not an athlete or nothing, but he was a creative-minded individual and a visionary who is very, very, very deep and open-minded, and was able to basically create the shoe of 2017. I honestly could say, I feel to believe, even though a lot of it's a whole bunch of mixed reviews, but man, it's hands down, he had the shoe of the year last year.
Yeah, of course. And also, do you think Virgil, if it wasn't for Kanye, would he be in the position where he is because of the influence of?
Man, that would,
because there's a lot of, like, even with their VLone, if it wasn't for Rocky, will he be where he is because of the influential of one person?
I would say, that's a hard question to answer.
Okay.
Because I've never had that kind of conversation, or I've never had that kind of discussion around those individuals.
Because the reason why I'm saying that,
I could tell you like this, my opinion outside looking in, yes.
Okay.
Because the only reason why I say that is because Virgil gets a lot of influence and ideas and creativity, not from just with himself, but throughout his experiences, and then outside of, I think everybody played a significant role, but that was always Virgil, was his passion for fashion, his passion for architecture, his passion for creative ideas and concepts and applications on how to apply different things. I think it was just a matter of time. It just, the luck of the draw. He had someone like Ye that was, he could be friends with, that would allow him to even stand out more. But I think Virgil would have made it regardless of that. Bari as well. I think, he's in New York. New York, there's opportunities everywhere. And don't get me wrong, I think the whole VLone movement as a whole was groundbreaking, because I feel between Yams, Rocky, everybody, even ASAP Ned, like everybody had their own type of swag and style and the way they put things together, that just the ASAP mob as a whole, you even look all the way down, not down, but you look all the way at Cozy Boys and them, like everybody has their own distinct thing that allows them to stand out, to where I think they would make it regardless of the fact. It helps when you have individuals, like prime example, like this situation, like I'm sitting in been here, and it has allowed me to have a platform to figure out and find and create ways to express myself. Okay. So I think, I'm not saying I would have made it without it, but I'm saying it helps. It always does.
So why is that people, places like New York and Kanye with his group, why is it that in Houston we don't have that type of movement that will help somebody from Houston itself blossom to where these cats from New York and, you know, have the opportunity to present themselves to be successful in the fashion and the footwear industry?
I would definitely clearly say it's the environment. When the economy is structured and set up based off of fashion and merchandising, or fashion, merchandising, production, and you could even just say publication capability. New York has everything in one city.
Yeah.
Here in Houston, we don't have the outlets to be able to express ourselves. And it's not more of, well, they can just simply come down, set up shop, and it would happen. It's more of the economic structure of the city of Houston. It's not that it doesn't allow it, it just might not be financially